Hope you're doing well. We will continue and now finalize our module on trigonometry as we will move into our angles on a Cartesian plane. We will finalize the term 2 work in trigonometry and carry on with the functions in term 3. That is obviously where we're going to draw the graphs and represent all the functions on the Cartesian planes and on the graphs obviously. We will be focusing on angles on a Cartesian plane today, and I will show you how to go about to answer the questions that are thrown your way. First of all, we'll start with the Cartesian plane. I'll explain to you where the quadrants are, as well as how the Cartesian plane works with regards to trigonometry. Okay, so first of all, we'll draw the Cartesian plane. You don't have to add all the numbers in and all of that. Obviously, you just need to know that this is the origin. Okay, and with that, you need to understand the following. So obviously, you'll think that 0 degrees start over here. Wrong. With trigonometry, your 0 degrees starts on the right over here, and it is obviously shared with 360. Okay, because that would be a total revolution there. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is that the degrees or the revolution on the Cartesian plane doesn't move in a clockwise rotation. It always moves anti-clockwise. So 90 degrees will be set over here by the y-axis, and then we'll move to the left, which gives me 180 degrees over here. And then obviously 270 degrees would be here, and then it stops at 360. Okay. Also with that, you need to know that all, meaning sine, tan and cos, all of them are positive in this quadrant. And with that, this is also quadrant 1. So in quadrant 1, all of them are positive. Okay. And the reason why all of them are positive is because the x values and the y values are all positive. Okay. Then, if you move from the 0 to 90, you will know that this whole quadrant is a 90-degree angle over here, which means that theta is an element of 0 degrees to 90 degrees. So if they tell you that what you need to calculate is between 0 and 90, you know that you're working in this quadrant. Okay, then this is quad 2. So quadrant number 2, obviously you know we're working anti-clockwise, and sine favors this quadrant. Okay. Also, another thing that you need to remember is that x is negative here, but y is still positive. Okay, and then your range that you're working with over here would obviously start at 90 degrees and it will move all the way to 180 degrees. There we go. From 90 to 180. Then, as we move on to quadrant number 3, so quad 3, there we go, you need to understand that tan favors this one. Okay, tan favors this quad, and also that x is negative and y is also negative in this quad. Okay. Then your range over here would be obviously between 180 and 270 degrees. Okay. Then moving on to quadrant number 4. You would know that cos favors this quadrant, and that x is positive here, but y is still negative. Okay. Then with that, you would notice that theta would be an element of 270 going to 360. So if they tell you that your range is 270 to 360, you know that you're working quad 4. If they told you that it's 90 to 270, you'd know that any one of these two quadrants can be used to calculate whatever you need to calculate. Okay. Then another thing that you need to remember is that Pythagoras Pythagoras that we've been nailing you on in grade 8 and 9 plays a huge role with regards to the calculations that we would be doing today. And you would also need to know that with Pythagoras, your standard formula is r squared, which is your hypotenuse, is equal to x squared plus y squared in this case. Okay? You need to know this formula because you're going to utilize it, as the questions that we're going to ask would instruct you, if I can put it that way, to draw a sketch using all of this that I've just given you now. Okay? So, let's erase and then let's look at our first question that could be potentially asked in your question paper. So, question number one. Question number one. They say if cos theta is equal to 4 over 5 and theta is between 0 and 90 degrees, calculate without the use of a calculator. What am I doing now? A calculator. And with the aid of a diagram. The value of tan squared theta. Okay, that's the type of question that you'll get. So they give you cos theta is equal to 4 over 5. They give you the range that you need to work in, but also they ask you something else. They ask you with the use of a diagram. So you need to draw a sketch. The use of a diagram, you need to calculate the value of tan squared theta. Okay. Now, first things first, you need to write down cos, let me just do cos theta equals 4 over 5. The next thing that you need to know is you need to know the ratio of cos. So the ratio of cos would obviously be x over r. So you already have two of the sides of your right angle triangle. Okay? Now you need to use Pythagoras to calculate the other side of the right angle triangle. Remember I said to you, trigonometry only works with right angle triangles. So, r squared equals x squared plus y squared. You've got x's value, you've got r's value. Okay? We need to calculate for y. So, r's value is 5, so you say 5 squared. X's value is 4, so we say 4 squared plus y squared. 5 times 5 is 25. This is 16 plus y squared. Carry 16 over, becomes negative. Then 25 minus 16 is 9 y squared. You need to square root, and therefore y is equal to plus minus 3. Okay? Your height is plus minus 3. But if you go and look at what they've asked you and what they've given you here, you would note that all the functions, all sine, cos, and tan, are all positive in the first quadrant. So it's going to be positive 3. Okay. So what you then do is you go and draw your little Cartesian plane. Doesn't have to be fancy, just draw your Cartesian plane. Indicate that this is x and this is y. And you now know that because you're in the range of 0 to 90 degrees, that your triangle has to be in this quadrant. So, from the origin, you draw a line out, and then you draw a line down. Okay, Then the hypotenuse is 5, so you go fill in 5, and your x value is 4, so you go fill in 4, and then you have calculated the y value already. And because it's in the first quadrant, y is positive, so it's going to be 3. There you go. And then another thing that you need to remember, theta is over here because you're working out of this angle over here. Okay, so from the origin out, which makes this your opposite and this your adjacent. Okay, now they asked you to go and calculate for tan squared theta. So tan squared theta, there we go. To calculate for this, we now need to know the ratio for tan in this case. So the ratio for tan is obviously y over x. Please note as well that there's a square. So you're going to square whatever you write here. So what we do now is, we then say, open bracket, y value is 3, and then x value is 4. And we square this, which would then give me 9 over 16. And there is your final answer. There you've calculated the whole question. Guys, it's crucial. It's crucial that number one, you know your ratios. Number two, you know which quadrant to work in according to what you've got over there. Because sometimes they won't make it that easy. They'll give you 2 quadrants and you need to choose which 2 to use. Then you need to know how to do Pythagoras. And then with that, how to manipulate and obviously substitute to calculate the answer that they are looking for in this case. Okay, let's do one more question and then we call it quits for today. Okay, question number 2. Question number 2. Here we go. So they say, if, what do they give me now? 13 sine, oh, they're making it interesting. 13 sine theta equal to -5 and theta element of, so it's 90 to 270. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Obviously they're going to ask you to calculate with a diagram as well as to calculate a certain thing. So we need to calculate the following. So calculate for, so cos theta plus sine theta. So they want you to calculate for cos theta plus sine theta in this case. Okay, first things first, you need to write this down. So we write down 13 sine theta equals -5. First things first, if you were following us since the beginning, you would know that you want to get rid of the 13 first. So you need to divide by 13 both sides. Because obviously you need to create a ratio for sine. So therefore sine theta is then equal to -5 over 13. And you need to know that the ratio for sine is y over r. So you've got a y value and you've got a hypotenuse over here. So next thing that you need to do is now calculate the other side using Pythagoras. So what we do now is we say 13, we square that, we've got y, so we're looking for x in this case, y is -5, so we have 169 equals x squared plus 25, carry the 25 over, subtract it from the 169, x squared, we get 144, x squared, square root both sides, so therefore x is equal to plus minus 12 in this case, plus minus 12. And this is very important because the range that they gave you is between the second quadrant and the third quadrant. So I'm just going to draw my Cartesian plane over here. So first, second, third, fourth. So our range is between 90 and 270 over here. So these two that we need to choose from. Now, they've asked us to calculate for the value of cos theta plus sin theta. Okay. They've given you the y value already. And the y value is negative. In the second quadrant, the y value is positive. In the third quadrant, the y value is negative. So it's going to be the third quadrant that we're working with. So y is negative 5. Obviously, the hypotenuse is 13. And on this side, the x value is also negative. So it's going to be negative 12 that we are working with. Okay. So there is your diagram, drawn, sorted. And theta obviously works from this angle, from the origin outwards, which makes this the opposite, this the adjacent. And they want us to calculate for cos theta plus sin theta. So, my ratio for cos is my ratio for cos is obviously x over r, plus the ratio for sine is y over r. So, my x value in this case is negative 12 over 13, plus my y value is negative 5 over 13. The denominators are the same, so you can add them together. So, negative 12 plus negative 5 gives me negative 17 over 13. And there I've calculated the whole question. Okay, guys, this is everything so far that you need to know with regards to working with trigonometry. Like I said to you, we'll do the functions when we get back in term 3. Then we'll start drawing graphs and getting into all the interesting things. But for now, this is everything that you need to know. So please make sure that you study everything. Please make sure that you're well prepared for the exams that are coming up, and that you succeed in the stuff that you put everything into in your schooling career. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for putting the word out there. Thank you for growing the channel. We really do appreciate it. Until we meet again next time, have a good day further. Bye-bye.